All right, we're back up on the mountain today. Yeah, that's right. We're going to do some gold mining. We are here at the Rusty Pail Goldmine. Let's get the generator plugged in, see what we got to work with. All right, let's make sure our ventilator's putting air down. It sounds like it's ventilating. We need to open up our animal guard. Make sure there's nothing down in there. Looks pretty safe and dry. All right, let's take this lid off. I'm pretty sure it's unoccupied. First things first, we have to put on our OSHA approved harness. Perfect. So the tools we're going to need today is our hard hat with a light. We have a little camera on the front. We have our black light. Well, it's supposed to be black. There we go. We have our dust mask for jackhammering. We have our metal detector and our jackhammer. We're going to take two different blades. We have the wide clay blade, and I think I also threw this narrow blade in there, and a pair of work gloves. You always got to have gloves. All right, we have our helmet on. Let's check our light. If I can find the light button. Come on, light button, where are you? Our helmet lamp isn't working. We're going to have to go back to the house and get some AA batteries. It's a good idea to always test your gear before you head out to the gold mine. All right, now we have our light working. Let's get mining. Before we go down the mine shaft, we always got to hook up our safety harness. And we need to hook the ore cart onto the cable. Now I think I'm going to let you guys ride in the ore cart on the way down the first time, just so I don't have to carry the camera. All right, you guys have a safe trip to the bottom. Now the first time down, I always like to look in all the corners, make sure we don't have any snakes or creatures living in here. At least nothing too big. Looks like our mucking shovel is right where we left it. It does look like it may have been underwater. So yeah, we probably have had a flood down here or something. Looks like you guys made it to the bottom okay. Once we're down at the bottom, we can take our safety harness off. And we store that thing right over here on this little hook here. Just like that. And that way we'll remember to put it back on. Hopefully. All right, I think the first thing we're going to do is head down the tunnel, find out why our light isn't working. And we'll get our black light turned on. Perfect. All right, let's head down the tunnel. And we're going to leave our helmet light on at first, just to check it out. And then we will turn our helmet light off once we figure out why the lights aren't working. Look at these guys. I don't know if you can see that. I think it's a cricket. All right, so this light here should be working. There we go. Perfect. Now we can turn off our helmet light for a few minutes and do some inspecting. Make sure there's no creatures up here behind all these beams and stuff. You just don't want creatures down the back of your neck. That's always a bad thing. All right, creature check is done. We're going to turn off the shaft light and just work with the black light, see what we got to deal with. All right, we're just under black light in here. You can probably hear the ventilator right here is blowing nice cool air. That's kind of good. Not seeing a lot of stuff jumping out is super exciting right this second. It's a little bit of white stuff. I don't know how that's showing up, but it looks to me like there's a lot of pink in the middle of that. So that might be a direction we want to pursue. Yeah, you can see it there. See that pink right in the middle? See that vein right there? That's a place we want to start digging. We want to dig right under that. There's another bright spot in there. So yeah, that's good enough with the black light. So we didn't learn much, but there is a little bit of quartz that's kind of showing up red. So we're going to dig there a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get the metal detector. We'll put the black light away, and I'll see you in a minute. All right, next up, we're going to give our Vibra King metal detector. Looks like it's turned on. Let's head back down this tunnel. At least now we have lights on, so it's easier to see. And what we're going to do is just check all these newly exposed areas. See if we have any type of a metal target coming up. And that metal target could be, well, let me get my helmet light on because I can't see nothing. All right, there we go. But yeah, so we just kind of wave our magic wand over all this material back here. We're just looking for any targets to show up. We're probably not going to find any. Oh, there was something. No, I think I just bumped the rock. Also look in the floor here. All right, we know this works because if I get close to my steel tip shoes, well, it goes off like crazy. All right, well, so we'll say metal detecting didn't go well today. Normally when we come down here, we start out with a round of jackhammering. But since I was a little bit lazy last time and didn't dig out all the dirt that we dug, we're going to go ahead and use our mucking shovel and fill up our ore cart. Nothing like starting off the day with some good old shoveling. All right, heading down the tunnel with the ore cart. Yeah, it wasn't a very long trip, but we're here. So I don't know how much of this you're going to be able to see. So we're going to take our mucking shovel and fill up the ore cart. I feel like our cart's coming off the rails over here. Why is this stuff so hard? Should all be broken up. Never let anybody tell you gold miners don't work hard. Man. Sure a lot of mosquitoes in here. We're going to have to stop one of these days and extend the railroad track. We're about 8 feet from where I'm digging up here back to the track. It's just a lot of wasted effort. All right, getting close. I don't know why you guys let me leave last time without mucking out all this stuff. It's a lot more fluffy when you first let it drop than if you let it sit. But it doesn't look like it's been flooding in here, so that's a good thing. It's actually remarkably dry. Man, look at that big rock hanging off the roof. Look at that rock. We might want to take that back up top. I bet there's something in there. You know, sometimes when I'm down here, I don't wear my helmet while I'm mucking the stuff out. But I really should wear it all the time because I keep banging my head on the roof. And when I don't wear my helmet, I come home with red hair. Getting close. Bend with your back, not with your knees. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know why this pile feels so hard. You know what? Maybe we didn't jackhammer all the bottom parts. That could be. I think last time we were here, we were trying to clean up the tunnel a little bit, and all that material fell down on the ground. So the mucking pile isn't as big as we thought it was. It's all pretty much just solid rock. All right, we're gonna say that's good. my goodness. Come on. Push that thing. I think I overloaded my cart. It's much easier to push this when we're on the train track. There we go. I feel like my helmet's falling down over my eyes. I don't know why. All right, we have a pretty full load of ore. It's not all the way full, but it's full enough. We need to hook the cable on. All right, so we're trying to put the little hooky thing in there. That's all set up. We need to make sure that this handle thing is between these two rails, which it looks about right. All we need to do is put on our safety harness and go up. I'm going to let you guys ride in the ore cart just so I don't have to carry the camera. How was the ride up? About like you'd expect? That's what I thought. All right, so we moved this thing backwards. It should be this way, so that as we bring it in, it's on the track nicely. Perfect. Everybody say gold mine! So all this is the material coming out of the gold mine. You can see it's getting a tan, sandy color instead of the bright red. A lot of that is just the shadows coming through, but it's definitely not as red as it has been. We are getting a lot of this white schist looking stuff. That's always profitable. Got to crush it up though. Yeah, we're also seeing quite a bit of this black iron rusty stuff. This has got to have gold in it or iron. It's super heavy. We'll process that a different day. For right now, let's get back to the gold mine. First step, we got to hook the ore cart back up. And now we're going to take a few minute break while we're up here. Take off our helmet. That's a sweaty mess. Have a little water break. Pretty much drinking water is the limiting factor on how long I can stay out here in gold mine. You really don't want to be doing this once you run out of water, because you will dehydrate quickly. So every time we bring an ore cart up, it's about 600 pounds of ore. Or, I don't know. 2 tons, that's what we're aiming for. So the next thing we need to do is get ready to go jackhammering. And in order to do that, we got to put on our particle mask You don't really want to be breathing any of this crushed up quartz, or actually anything. You don't want stuff in your lungs. So once I put this on, you won't be able to hear me very well. But don't worry, I'm still here. Put our eyes and ears protection on. And we are going to turn on our spotlight just so while I'm jackhammering, we can see what's going on. Now I'm going to use my helmet cam and not the cell phone. So wish us luck. You always got to tie your cord in the knot. That way it doesn't come untied. Perfect. Gonna trick it real quick. Seems to work. Alright, let's go jackhammer. Uh-oh. We forgot to take our harness off. Good Lord. Come on, DP. Can't go anywhere with our harness on. Ow! That hurt! Alright. Here at the end of the tunnel, get enough slack in our cord. Put our face mask down. And our face mask pretty much fogs up immediately, so that's awesome. my goodness. Wow, that's a lot of work. At least I think we ran all the bugs off. Man. We got some humidity down here now. I'm starting to see my breath. All right, let's get our mucking shovel, get back to the back of the tunnel, and dig it out. Gonna put our gloves back on. Wow, a lot of work. All right, we're gonna leave you guys over there in the corner. I'm gonna try not to mess you up too bad. I'm gonna turn my light on so I can see what I'm doing. And we're just gonna muck into the barrel, into the sink. We should probably get rid of these big rocks first. Look at those smokers. Big old rocks. You gotta like it when you have rocks bigger than you can put in the shovel. You might get a lot of these out here. All right, maybe we can shovel. You know, this kind of reminds me of a song. You know what? I think I'll just play the song and we'll do this mucking in fast speed.
Got my boots underground, a little dust in my lungs, green hat and a shirt, the brightest kind you've ever seen. A light on my head, shining bright as the sun. Another day at the Rusty Pail, another day's begun. Oh, this breath is a cloud, and my visor's a haze. Been mucking out all for what feels like 1,000 days. They say this is the best little mine, a place to get rich. But all I've found so far is just a whole lot of grit. Cold seeps into my bones, a chill in the air. I just want a little gold, a nugget to show that I care about this place, the dust and the stone. But the only gold I've got is the heart I call my own. Oh, this breath is a cloud, and then my visor's a haze. We've been mucking out all for what feels like 1,000 days. They say this is the best little mine, a place to get rich. But all I've found so far is just a whole lot of grit. I'm never gonna get rich, no, that's just the truth. But every swing of this pickaxe is a part of my youth. I'm digging for more than money, something you can't hold. Down here in the dark, with a heart made of gold. Yeah, oh, this breath is a cloud, and my visor's a haze. Been mucking out all for what feels like 1,000 days. They say this is the best little mine, a place to get rich. But all I found so far is just a whole lot of grit. Yeah, a whole lot of grit, and a whole lot of soul. Just a working man digging down and down in a cold, dark hole. in the Rusty Pail Goldmine, where the stories are untold. And the only treasure I've found is this heart made of gold.
All right, that's going to do it for the second load of ore. Let's get back to the surface, dump it, come back and get another one.
I'll let you guys ride the ore cart. Oh my goodness, I can't move it. It's too full.
All right, we got to put on a harness. I'll see you guys at the top. Wow, it's a lot hotter up here. Everybody say gold mine. Wow. Two more to go. One more load. Last load. We're done. That's going to do it for us today. You guys get outside, do something fun, come back and tell me about it.